Failure can be terrifying for people. Being afraid of failure, it's not going to get you anywhere. The more you fail at a particular thing, the better you're going to get at it. I give my fear to the Lord, and I ask Him to help relieve me of that. So I've been trying to figure out what I wanted this video to be about ever since I released my last video. And I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been praying about it, and I have been browsing around in my Bible trying to kind of give myself some inspiration. And God put it on my heart what the topic of this video is going to be. And essentially it's overcoming failure and not being afraid of failure. And it's actually kind of funny. I was getting ready to write the script for this video, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to say. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to write, and I came to the conclusion that I have to take my own advice on this one and not be afraid of failure, and speak from my heart rather than speak from something that I'm reading off camera here. And I really think that that failure can be terrifying for people, especially younger people. When I was younger, I was terrified of failure, and I still am in a lot of ways. In the same way that I'm afraid to upload this video in a way. I'm afraid of this entire channel in a way, because I'm afraid of it failing, and I'm afraid in a lot of different ways. But fear of failure, being afraid of failure, it's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to fail regardless. And that's kind of the truth of things. You are going to fail at whatever you do. If you're new to something, like I am with making YouTube videos, you're gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. And failure is not all bad. There's a lot that you can learn from failure. There's a reason why they say that failure is the best teacher. The more you fail at a particular thing, the better you're going to get at it. The more I get into the headspace of coming up with ideas for this channel and actually just sitting down and doing it, I find myself becoming better and better at it and able to do it quicker and quicker. Whereas if I am just sitting, with these ideas in my head and not actually sitting down and doing anything about it because I'm afraid of failing, what am I learning? I'm not learning anything. I'm being scared for not really any reason. I doubt anybody's going to watch this video. What do I have to be afraid of? This video is probably going to fail. What do I have to be afraid of? For you could be scared that you're going to fail a test. I know I had that fear when I was in school. Even when I studied, there was still this doubt in my mind of, oh, what if I don't do good enough? What if I don't get a good grade? And then that reflects on, my overall grade for the class. And then for me, we had this system. I don't remember what it was called, but your parents could log into it and see all of your grades for certain assignments and tests. And that terrified me, because if I didn't do good on a test, my mom would log in and look at that and say, well, why didn't you do good on this test? And it scared me. The chance of failure scared me, and it made me not commit as much, because I almost felt in a way, if I didn't try and then I failed, then at least I had the excuse of, well, I didn't really try, so, whatever. But then there's bigger things. Things like failing at your job and then that possibly leading to you getting fired, failing in your marriage, in your relationships, in commitments that you make to people, failed promises that you make. And these can have more of a dramatic impact on you and those around you. If you lose your job, how are you going to survive? How are you going to pay your bills? If you fail in your marriage, what impact could that have on your spouse, on you? If you have kids and you feel like you're failing as a parent, myself, I'm going to be a father shortly, and I am genuinely terrified. The thought of failing in that aspect is really scary. I feel like as a man, it's not as common for us to be able to say that we're scared of things, purely because we're supposed to be strong, right? We're supposed to not show those kinds of emotions. We're supposed to be stoic and bury those down and just push ahead regardless. And I think that there's some merit to that, but at the same time, what do we do when we are afraid? And we are afraid of failing in particular. Me, I give my fear to the Lord, and I ask him to help relieve me of that. I know that some people who could watch this might not be religious, and I want to tailor this channel to be appealing to people who are religious and people who aren't, because I really do think that Christianity and Christian teachings can really apply to anybody. You don't even necessarily have to be a Christian. I would absolutely love to see people grow in faith, in their own faith, watching my content. I don't think that's necessarily where I want to take this channel, at least not yet. But I do think that there is merit to at least making an attempt to deepen a relationship with God. And for me, that's everything to me. But I do understand that that's not how everybody views things. Now, when it comes to dealing with failure, I think that your mindset on it has the biggest impact. If you view failure as something that just cannot be overcome and something that just absolutely terrifies you, then you're never going to develop and you're never going to become stronger as a person. If I let the fear that I have of failing on this channel, or failing my future child, or failing in any aspect of my life, if I let that dictate the things that I am able to do and am able to have an effect on, then I am more likely to fail in the future with things that are more meaningful. I think the most important thing to remember is that just because you do fail doesn't mean you are a failure. There's a difference there. And one way that I have found helps kind of overcome my fear of failure is using previous failures as a way to guide myself forward. One example of this can be, I can look at previous videos that I've made, or previous attempts at videos that I've made, and I can look at those and I can say, well, these are things that I don't like, and I can change things in the future. Or let's say you fail a test and you can say, well, I didn't study for it. so you can change your behavior, and then maybe next time around you can actually study for the test and do better on it. It can be hard to discuss stuff like this, and again, that's why I wanted to make this channel, is to provide a source for people, and specifically men, who struggle with fears like this, because I don't think that there's a lot of people who talk about stuff like this. And I would genuinely like to hear from you guys in the comments. If you're willing to share, I'd like to know some of the things that maybe you're afraid of failing at, or some of the things that you have failed at that have had a impact on your life. And I'd like to have a discussion about that down there, because I think talking about it in a lot of ways helps as well, especially with people who are very familiar with that particular fear. And there's a verse that I'd like to share with you guys from a book that I think is a great source of wisdom for people who want to seek it out. It's Proverbs 24:16. It says, "The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again. But one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked." And I think that this is a great verse that really just shows like how many times you can fail. You can trip so many times and you can fall, but God will be there, and he will lift you up, and he will make it better. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you feel like you're getting something from this channel. I'm still very new to this, and I'm trying to do my best to come up with things that I think are needed and worth talking about. I just wanted to say thank you for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.